Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Here we are, Nelson. We're ready to podcast and full of gluten-free toast.
That's right.
Which is something that will only make sense to those who watched our live stream today.
Which is probably everybody. We've probably got an influx of listeners right now.
We have a few listeners. Yeah, we've got a little community of listeners.
Yeah.
So if the numbers on our live stream do not match that of our small community of listeners, we want naming and shaming from those who did watch.
Okay. But I mean, it'll probably get viral. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why it's necessary to bring up the gluten-free bread.
Well,
so significantly.
Okay, look. Just in case you didn't watch our live stream, we did the toaster experiment that literally
Timmy's toaster test. We didn't have Timmy.
Yeah, no, he was no. You know what? The toaster was called Timmy.
Yeah. Oh, poor Timmy.
We did the toaster experiment that literally one person was screaming out for.
And they didn't even watch it.
No. Well, they
might watch it.
I think they live on the east coast of America. It's very late.
Yeah, well, Hazim did, and he listened, so no excuses.
So we were testing whether the numbers on the side of a toaster really correlate with the amount of minutes that it cooks. But overwhelmingly, most of the comments were about how you chose gluten-free bread and how that is not real bread.
But what?
And some even calling the whole experiment void because of that.
What? Why? Why is there so much hate for gluten-free bread? What if bread started out gluten-free and then somebody added gluten? You'd be like, ugh, gluten bread. No, thank you.
Well, yes. No, that is true, but it's because people are so used to one thing. But gluten-free bread...
All I'm saying is just get used to change. Okay? How can you improve yourself without accepting change?
Having just had 3 slices of gluten-free toast, It's weird and chewy. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's weird and that doesn't have the right texture. I love the gluten in bread.
Okay.
I've decided. But you know what? Gluten-free bread was fine.
Yeah.
I still ate it.
Yeah. It's not like it's not disgusting.
Yeah, I just enjoyed it less than I would have.
Okay. Anyway, the experiment was a success.
Yep.
We won't tell you the results. Wait, did you say it before?
Nope.
Okay, you have to go and find out yourself.
Yeah, I tell you what.
The only way.
There's a pretty big surprise in there.
Oh, yes. Alrighty. Well, let's get into it, Cambo.
Okay.
This first Reddit on Reddit is from a new subreddit I haven't used before, but I might use this one.
You've been experimenting with the subreddits lately, picking new ones, experimenting on Reddit, experimenting with science like we did earlier today.
Experimenting in the bedroom.
Oh.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's just me and different implements.
He brought a bunch of beakers.
Yeah.
And he's just been doing experiments in his bedroom.
Yeah. I thought that was...
He made a paper mache volcano using... Yeah, baking soda and whatever you use.
Something. I don't know. Did you
red
ever do
dye
that in primary school?
Yeah.
I never did that.
Didn't you?
No.
What a shit school.
I thought it was like a very much an American experiment thing because I've always seen it on TV in American after school specials.
It's the go-to
science project.
Yeah, TV science project.
Yeah. Anywho, so this was the subreddit Too Afraid to Ask. And it's by Deprived115.
Oh, if people are too afraid to ask, this is a safe space, I feel.
Yes.
And we'll have the answers.
We've always got the answers. If one conjoined twin committed a crime, would both have to serve the time?
Oh.
Do we have the answer?
No,
I don't know.
I do have the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
I'm glad because, oh boy, I was lost. So I'm glad you're here to clear up what the definite answer is.
I think it would depend on the crime.
Murder.
I mean, that's a toughie.
Yeah. First, he chloroformed his other.
So his other brother was completely,
like
he did not participate
at all.
His last words were, "Do not murder." and then he was chloroformed.
First what
So
happened was they went to the store,
Yep.
and one guy's like, "I just got to pick up a few things." He went and picked up the chloroform. The guy's like, "Hey, why do you do this chloroform?" And he's like, "Never mind." Then he picked up a rag. He's like, "Rag and chloroform.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
And
too good."
And
but,
then he picked up all the instruments needed for murdering.
yeah, that's right. So then he got chloroformed, and then he went out. It would be really hard if like a whole one side of you was unconscious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so
You got a wheelbarrow. No,
So,
that'd be hard too.
I feel like people avoid prison through like pleas of insanity, right? Because that is an extenuating circumstance, which means they're not fit for prison. Would being a conjoined twin be a similar?
No. Sorry, I'm just gonna cut you off before you finish that one. I think that, like, if your argument is I'm not mentally safe because I'm a conjoined twin,
No. So that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then that's irrelevant to the question.
But because at the same time, a judge would be sending a guilty man to prison, which is just.
Yeah.
But then sending an innocent man to prison for a crime he did not commit is unjust.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, how is that not an extenuating circumstance?
Okay, right.
I feel like it would be something like a house arrest.
Yeah, I guess so. Or they just have a real special jail. There's like a gap in the middle of the bars that we do, so one guy can be like, I don't know,
okay,
do
let's
his stuff
say
on one side.
Let's say this is I don't know, Bill and Jeff, right?
Yeah.
And Jeff committed the murder.
Yeah.
And Bill didn't.
Yeah.
And they've made this special prison in which one side of the wall.
Yeah. Jeff's in prison,
and
Bill's not.
Bill's outside.
Yeah.
Bill is still at prison all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's still not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is outside.
Yeah.
But he would still be in the yard.
I mean, you probably have that those issues quite frequently if you're not conjoined, right? Like if somebody has a hobby, if somebody wants to ice skate and you're like, I'm not really into it, you kind of have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to be.
Yeah.
So you think that going to prison is a bit like a hobby that the other one isn't into. You're like, I know you're not as into being in prison for murder.
Yeah.
But it's kind of part of the deal.
I reckon if I was Jeff, I would convince Bill to kill somebody. Because I'm like,
just do it.
We're in prison.
You're already going to
You've
prison.
got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think because they wouldn't both be convicted, I think is the main point. Yeah. Right? You couldn't convict both of them of murder because only one of them murdered. But I would suspect, and I have to say suspect because I have no knowledge of the law to say.
You said you could answer this question.
I am answering the question, Nelson. Answering the question isn't the problem. Answering it with information relevant and true, I never promised.
Okay. That's true. You're right.
I suspect that, it would be some kind of like house arrest or something like that. It wouldn't be like a... But what if they murdered so many that it's a maximum security
Yeah, that's what
kind
I
of
was
thing?
thinking. That it's like...
Because one measly murder.
Yeah,
you go to prison for a while.
I wonder if you would then just have like a reverse jail where it's maybe not... maybe still
have all the freedom you
still
want.
a house arrest, I guess. But just like they are then... they have like security guards that follow them around, like 24/7.
Oh, okay. See, because here's my thing, right? Jeff, right?
Yeah,
no good murderer,
bloody murderer.
But let's say he's like a Ted Bundy level murderer, like murdered a lot of people.
Yeah,
pretty horrific stuff.
Yeah,
I'd be like, Bill, you could have told someone. He's murdered a lot of people for you not to know. That's 38, and even if he kept chloroforming you. You should know that he's up to something and maybe have alerted some kind of an authority.
But maybe that's how he did find out. You're assuming that Bill didn't tell someone.
But 38 murders. That's so many murders.
But maybe it was like...
It would take me 3 chloroforms to be like, this sums up here.
But it could have... Okay, this is the other scenario. Mm-hmm. They go to bed.
Yep.
Then he chloroforms him.
Oh...
So he just thinks he's been asleep the whole time.
This is Jeff. He's a real piece of work.
Oh, he's
thought about this.
He's a slutty. It's really thought about.
Look, if that's the case, I'm sorry, Bill, but you have to go to prison.
You have to go to prison. He's murdered so many people.
Because the thing is,
it's about the greater good.
I feel like this is going to be insensitive, and I apologize.
Okay.
But because he couldn't murder Bill, because then he's got to carry Bill around.
Well, maybe he could. Normally isn't it sometimes that you can't separate conjoined twins because one will die?
Yeah.
Maybe, Jeff's like, why didn't Jeff just kill Bill? Because he's like, oh, they can
Yeah, and leave me
cut
the bits
him
I
off.
need.
Yeah.
This is interesting. It's a real thing.
Maybe he's the one likely to die,
Mm.
In which case, Bill could kill Jeff. Then he wouldn't have to deal with a murderer all the time.
Yeah, but then he would still be in prison. He would still be in the right place.
What if... Oh, maybe that is the solution. Bill convinces Jeff to go to Texas, where they have capital punishment still, right?
Yeah.
Do they still have that?
Sure.
And then Bill says, hey, Jeff's been killing everybody. And they kill Jeff and they cut him off.
Mm-hmm.
Bill has a normal life.
It's pretty good.
I'm just saying, Jeff could kill all the people he wants and Bill could have a good life.
That's the answer.
That's it.
You've done it. This
given-
person was too afraid to ask, but fear not, we've come up with an answer.
We weren't too afraid to answer. That's for sure.
We're never afraid to answer. Ignorance be damned.
Yeah, that's right. We don't care if we insult everybody in the process. It's a pretty good one. That's all I'm going to say. Here, I'm going to do another quick one.
Okay.
Cambo.
Yep.
I normally never do two Reddit summary.
Well, it's normally because we waffle on about nonsense, but we hit some gold just then. So
we just nailed it straight out. Did the thing. Anyway, okay. This one is by Baker Shear. And it's just a nice post. It says 91-year-old mailman retires after 69 years with perfect record. Pretty good.
pretty good.
Pretty good. Even ended on 69, so that's pretty funny.
That's the best bit.
What
is a perfect record?
That was exactly why I put this one on. Cambo, thank you for having the like-minded thought process of me.
As we've discussed on the show, we're pretty much the same person.
Great podcasting material when we're both thinking
I
the
think
exact
this. I
same
agree
thing.
with that. Let's move on.
If only the podcast was that short. Somehow, with the same mentality, we still waffle on for far too long. But what is a perfect... Or surely it's not hard to have a perfect record. In fact, if any mailman came back into the office after a day of delivering mail and was like, I just didn't deliver 20 letters, he'd be like, what? That's literally your job. Why?
Empties
why
out
have
his
you done
pockets
that?
and there's just letters in there. He's like, oh, yeah. Shit.
I didn't have any tissues.
I forgot. I had 2 bags. I forgot about this second bag. That's great. That's half the mail.
Yeah,
just didn't deliver it.
There's been 200 letters in here. Anyway, can't go back now. End of the day, I guess.
Because, obviously, mailmen are different all around the world, but where I used to live, they used to go around on a small motorbike, right?
Yeah.
With a pouch in the front with all the letters.
Yeah.
Maybe every now and then one flies out. It's like, damn, we lost one.
Can't go back here.
Hope that wasn't an important bill.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just thought it was crazy that it was such a 91-year-old man retires after 69 years. That's kind of a nice story, I guess. Perfect record. I don't know. I start to get a little bit concerned. If it's such an achievement, that makes me think that he's doing something dodgy. If all the mailmen in the world are like, oh my gosh, this guy's got a perfect record?
Yeah.
Delivers all the letters.
Since it's a nothing thing, could we say that this podcast has a perfect record? Of what? Yes.
Yeah, we got
a perfect record.
Perfect record. We've done one every week. Not on the same day.
Yeah, that's true. I think technically you're right. Yeah.
But it's perfect record.
Perfect record.
Every week.
But unlike this guy, we won't retire ever.
Now, if we get to 69 years, just for lols, might retire. I think that's why he did it.
Or if we make it up to episode...
70 is like a milestone, right? But he was like, nope, I'll stop at 69.
Because it's funny.
Because of the lols.
Yeah.
Because he's like, my great-grandchildren will find it hilarious.
If we get up to 69 years, or episode 6969.
Yeah.
So maybe we start pumping podcasts out a lot quicker or something, and we get there.
That might take us to 69. What if in our 69th year we got to episode 6,969?
Yeah, that we would have to retire.
We would have to.
The other ones were like, we might retire if we get to 69 years or get episode 6969. But we promise you this.
Yep.
If in our 69th year of doing the show, what are we in? Third year?
Third.
So it's like a ways away.
Second. How many have we done?
I don't know. I think we just hit over 2
we did
years.
2
Yeah.
because we've done
we're
one every
in-
week and we're
yeah.
125. Okay, so yeah, we're in our third year.
Yes. So it's still a ways away, right?
Yeah.
We'd be very old.
I don't think it's going to matter. Unless we start doing them more frequently, we're not going to reach 6,969 episodes.
However, if we do, in our 69th year, do episode 6969, we will retire. That is guaranteed.
Maybe we just call it that, regardless of what number it is.
Yeah, it'd be like episode 4,620, and then suddenly episode 6969.
And everybody's like, well, I guess this is the one. I remember in episode 125 where they said this would be the last one.
Good memory.
Isn't it so sort of stupid that like 69 is such a... But it's like the only number, right?
Oh,
Where
wait,
you're like,
Nelson.
funny number.
How do I explain this? It's also a sexual position.
Yeah, I know.
This is where the comedy is derived from.
I know, but it's like, I don't know. It's such a childish thing that I think everybody kind of gets on board with, you know? It's like, yeah, 6. Anyway. All right, Cambo, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by... I'm not sure if we've done one similar to this. I think we have.
Nelson, you haven't done your due diligence.
So I've got 3 just in case.
Okay.
So I'll do the first one that I'm not sure about. This is by Goosander77. You are offered $1 million US. If you can hide a pair of car keys from the entirety of the FBI force for 7 days, where do you hide the keys?
Ooh. The entirety of the FBI force.
The entirety of the FBI force.
I feel like the FBI, their skill is like wiretapping and phone listening and surveillance, not searching.
Yeah.
So I feel like you've got as good a chance with anyone as you have with a member of the FBI.
I mean,
If they knew in advance, they could bug your place and surveil you and know where you hid the key.
yeah, I think that's part of it, right? Because if I had the keys right now and somebody's like, okay, you've got like, I don't know, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then we're going to tell the FBI that you've got the keys.
Yeah.
Far easier.
So what yours, because like, I guess if we left this building and drove up into the country and buried it under a tree.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Which I think is a pretty good plan.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah. But
put that one in
they
our
could
back
probably, on CCTV, spot us. They could probably go back to the footage and spot us leaving the building by, all right, they're left and they're heading this direction. But I reckon we went far enough in the country. They're not surveilling.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like the Shawshank Redemption,
Well, yeah.
under a great oak or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But, okay, here's what we do.
No, because Shawshank Redemption is one of my favorite films. So then they might be like, maybe he's hidden it under a great oak because he likes that film so much. You know, you got to think of these things, right? They think real deep into your psyche, into your personality.
Well, okay. It doesn't have to be a great oak. It could just be a small river stream, perhaps.
Okay, I haven't seen a movie with that.
Exactly.
Being the point of
There's never been a small river stream in a movie, Nelson. That's what's so genius about it.
Yep. Good.
So, here's the genius part, I think.
Okay.
We get a cigar box, right?
Oh.
And we have a fake bottom of the cigar box. And then on the fake bottom, we write, haha, decoy.
Yeah.
So when they find it, they think, oh, we've got it. And then they open it and it says decoy, but it isn't a decoy.
Underneath that
The
one.
keys are in the fake bottom.
Okay, I think there should be another fake bottom. And
Two fake bottoms.
No, seriously,
No,
this
no.
is a decoy. And then another one that says, why do you keep going?
Here's
just a decoy.
Here's the problem.
Stop looking.
Here's the problem with going 4 fake bottoms deep.
Yeah.
The box is quite long, but when they open it, the depth is way off.
Well,
They're like, this is easily 30 centimeters deep, but when I've opened it, it's only 15 centimeters deep.
but this one,
I suspect 4 fake bottoms.
this is what I'm thinking though, because they dig it up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in like a classic movie, when they dig up some sort of box, they kind of don't pull it out all the way because you have to dig more dirt. You just open the top, right? So they don't know how long
the
box
FBI
is.
would be thorough.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they'd dig it out.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be so annoying? Like, that could take them such a long time.
They've got time, Nelson.
Hopefully. Well, they've only got 7 days, mate.
It's the entirety of the FBI. They could have 4 people digging.
Okay, yeah.
You're thinking one FBI agent. This is the entirety of the FBI. Need I remind you?
Yeah, okay. Okay, you're right. Well, then why don't we put lots of boxes with lots of decoys?
Nelson.
But one's real.
I've got it.
Okay.
So we have to hide a specific set of car keys, right?
Yeah.
But who's to say that we can't make duplicate decoys?
Oh.
Cigar box, fake bottom with keys, and it says decoy, but a second cigar box nearby with the decoy set of keys.
Oh.
So they find the keys in quotation marks.
And they're like, thank God we found these keys. And then somebody's like, oh, it looks like these are freshly cut. And they're like, it doesn't matter. It still works.
And here's the thing. They said, we'll have to get these back to the lab. The results take 7 days. We've already won.
That's a good. Yeah. That is a good part to the plan. And we know by experience through movies and TV shows that those type of things take so long.
The other thing that we could do, and this is slightly gambling on our end, but I think the odds are in our favor.
Yeah.
We order 1 million duplicate keys and put the real ones somewhere in that pile.
Okay. It's probably going to cost more than $1 million.
I reckon if we went on Alibaba,
okay,
we could get it cheaper. What kind of key?
Yeah, I mean,
if it's got fancy electronics in it, then I'm out.
Right? Yeah, it depends.
Because they're like $50 each.
No, I think still going with your theory. We'll say it's just like standard house key. You can get cut anywhere.
Yeah, I reckon if you did it in bulk, that'd do your deal.
Are we? So is this like a 50, needle? Is this 50, like a needle in the haystack type thing? Yeah,
I'm diluting because they would have to test 1 million keys to find it. And I think that would take longer than a week.
But then are we also, because I imagine, yes, from Alibaba, you could buy a bunch of keys that just straight, like they haven't been cut at all yet, right?
Yeah.
But then are we cutting them all individually? Because then all they have to do is find the one that's cut as opposed to the ones that aren't. So if we had 1 million keys, we would have to cut 1 million of them so they slightly differently so that they looked.
Nelson, I would order them pre-cut.
That would be the most useless thing on the internet.
All right.
Hey, I've got 1 million keys you can buy. By the way, they're already pre-cut, so
they won't fit in any kind of key.
By chance, they might fit your door, but you have to probably go through 1 million of them to find out.
But think about that think about that from the perspective of the FBI. They have to go through 1 million keys.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah. I'll go with my other plan.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
1 decoy set of keys.
Okay.
I'd order 2 decoy sets just in case.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I was thinking, because loophole can be. I mean, for first of all, FBI, not in Australia. Okay?
Yeah.
It takes at least a flight over. That's like a day.
That's like 14 hours at least. Oh, they probably have real special jets, though. Let's say 10 hours.
Okay, yeah. But then I was thinking, loophole, doesn't say we need the keys back. So this is my well, I mean, I can't think of a volcano in Australia.
I didn't say Australia.
I could fly over there with it.
Yeah, Iceland.
No, because as if they wouldn't stop you in customs.
Put up your butt.
But
yeah, they're not going to search your butt.
They've got enough decency to not search anybody's butt. No, okay, this is what I'm going to do. First, go downstairs to Coles, buy myself a Kinder Surprise.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're delicious.
Yeah.
But also because
not relevant to the plot.
Also inside, little capsule. Put the key in the capsule. I mean, obviously build the toy first. It might be interesting.
Obviously, yeah.
Do you know sometimes you don't build them anymore? They just come pre...
Nelson, imagine if you're doing this plan. You get the Kinder Surprise.
Yeah.
You open the little capsule and it's a puzzle.
I would...
That were always the biggest disappointments in any Kinder Surprise.
No, I find the ones that are just pre-made the worst.
Yeah.
Okay? I would prefer a puzzle than just like a toy dinosaur. No,
Nelson, the problem is this conversation is alienating our American listeners because Kinder Surprises
are they Australian?
No, they're outlawed in America.
Oh, because it was like a choking hazard for kids or something. Yeah. Okay, well, Americans, You are missing out. Let me tell you. I tell you what. Do a deal with your government, not Trump. Wait till somebody else is elected. Say, hey, look, let's get Kinder Surprises and outlaw guns. And most people will take that trade.
That was the choice we were given in Australia.
yeah.
They said, look, you can keep your guns. We're going to have to take the Kinder Surprises.
And we were like, oh,
people were
so
throwing their
delicious.
guns at the government. Because they said it is chocolate on the outside, but white chocolate on the inside.
Yes.
That was it. Any semi-automatic rifle was handed over.
Exactly. But anyway,
by the way, people do have guns here. Just by the way,
they're not semi-automatic. You can't go down to a
no. But I think that sometimes people outside of Australia think that people just do not have guns. But
which
my dad had
it's so close to being the truth.
But I'm saying it's not illegal to own a gun here.
But the guns are so much different. Like I'm pretty sure it's illegal to have a semi-automatic here.
It
right?
is, yeah.
Like you have to have bolt action or something.
It doesn't have to be a bolt action necessarily, but yeah, semi-automatic rifles are outlawed. But like for instance, my dad has about 4 guns, maybe.
Yeah.
But he has a license and a permit, and he keeps them in a safe. And it's not like it's some kind of weird society where guns are impossible to get. We just regulate it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's not about this, Kemba.
Sorry.
Okay.
The key.
The key and Kinder Surprise. Okay, so we need to explain to the listeners. It's like a little egg. It's like an egg that you get at Easter, but on the inside is a little capsule. Inside that is a little toy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the capsule and put the key in it.
Yep.
Go to a drain. Drop it down there.
Yeah, that's good.
Flows out to the
I
sea.
can just put it in a bin as well. Goes to a tip.
Yeah, goes to tip. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would.
But again, they could watch the CCTV footage. Be like, you brought it from Toronto.
Well, see, yeah, I think that's why maybe
the drain
is better because it instantly starts
Flush it
going
down the toilet.
Flush it down the toilet. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I guess we've solved that.
So this is the solution, and it'd be good to know which one people would go with. Nelson's is to buy a Kinder Surprise, put the key in the capsule, flush the capsule down the toilet, or put it in the drain.
Just as I want to remind listeners, you get to eat the Kinder Surprise as well. Okay.
Yep.
Don't.
You do have that going for you. I admit.
It's an added bonus.
Mine is to drive to the country, put 2 cigar boxes in near a small river stream, buried underground. If they happen to find it, the capsule with the key has a fake bottom with a note saying it's a decoy, and there's another box with a decoy key.
Yeah.
I'm playing mind games.
So many mind games, mate. Okay, and then the test results take over 7 days.
That is a very important part of my plan.
That's canon.
Yeah. Also, here's what I didn't tell you. I would put a second decoy under my bed. So when they do their initial search, they'd be like, well, we've found it.
Yeah.
They'd go searching and go, this is a decoy. So then when they find my second decoy, they'd be like, he wouldn't have a second decoy.
Who has a second decoy?
Yeah, that's the second wrinkle in my plan that makes it genius.
I think you just keep going with it. Have so many decoys that they get mentally destroyed. And this is the 64th decoy. He wouldn't have a 64th
Yet
decoy.
you poo-pooed my idea of ordering 1 million keys.
Yeah, I mean that's still a ridiculous idea. Okay, I'm not backing down from that. Okay, here's another one for you, Kemba. Okay, this is by Ihoni. What is your high school crush doing now?
Don't know.
Oh,
does that help?
that's boring.
I don't even know what my first high school girlfriend's doing now.
Oh. I don't
think she has
really
a
know.
kid,
But
maybe.
what was the last thing you knew about them? I don't know what my crush is doing right now. That would be that'd be creepy.
That would be this. Maybe this is a test.
Yeah.
You say that. Oh, what's your high school crush doing right now? And if you're like, I think they're at a dance lesson. You're like, right. You're a stalker.
Yeah. Okay.
You failed the stalker test.
Maybe Ihoni is from the FBI trying to track down stalkers.
He's trying to suss us out before we do this great key scam with the FBI.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to adapt it to my first high school girlfriend because I don't really remember who I even had a crush on necessarily.
Yeah.
I have a crush on someone every week.
Yeah. At different
crazy.
points during my high school and life, I've probably had a crush on and masturbated to many a girl.
Right. You didn't need the second bit there.
Yeah, but I mean, I was a high school boy.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
I was a teenager.
I mean, I remember in high school for a while, I had a huge crush on the actress Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
I could tell you what she's doing now, probably.
Okay, what is she doing right now?
I think she's in that TV show Big Little Liars. So
Sure.
I'm a stalker.
Okay.
So yeah, my high school girlfriend. Okay, the last thing I know about her is that she had a kid.
How did that make you feel?
It's fine. We'd been broken up for like 6 years.
Oh, okay.
So
Not even just like,
I knew
that could have been my kid.
I knew for sure it wasn't mine.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know a whole heap about pregnancy, but 6 years is a while.
Unless it was 6 years old. Unless you told
I
everybody.
didn't consider this. Or 5 years and 3 months or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, my primary school crush, I remember.
Yeah.
First of all, let me tell you, I got very annoyed at my primary school crush because I had a crush on her for like ages.
Yeah.
And then in grade 6, so just as I'm finishing primary school, it might have even been after. I feel like maybe when I was in year 7, I'd gone to high school.
Yeah.
There was like maybe some meetup or something else. Or I can't really remember. And she was like, remember how we used to have crushes on each other in primary school? I was like, that didn't happen. I had the crush on you the whole time. I gave her flowers at one Valentine's Day, and she got creeped out. Actually, I remember I put the flowers in her desk, and they almost completely died in the heat during like recess or lunchtime or something. So when she opened up her desk and got them out afterwards, they were like practically dead. It was almost like a death threat.
Because then you left the note that said, "You're next."
Yeah, that's right. I've moved on from Danielle and I'm on to you, Emily. But anyway, yeah, she told me this, and I was so annoyed that I was like, why didn't you ever tell me? Girls are idiots is what I thought from then on out. But I remember, like, I must have her on Facebook or something, I don't know, and she has a lot of tattoos and stuff now.
Yeah.
And it's a really funny image remembering her, this like innocent young girl from primary school, pretty studious as well, I remember. And I think she actually still perhaps studious now, or at least during her high school years. But just like has heaps of tattoos, and it was like become a big part of her, personality. I was like, oh, that is just weird.
So you're saying like that isn't what you expected? Because I don't think I don't think a tattoo is the sign of a wayward life anymore.
Oh no, that's not what I meant at all.
But I'm saying, stylistically,
but there's like a personality attached to it. I think right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that there's a negative one, but it's just there's just a certain personality of people that get lots of different tattoos.
Yeah.
And and so it's not what I was expecting her like to turn out with. But again, like I don't know, judging somebody's personality on primary school days where they are, it's like ridiculous, right? Everybody else, I see some guy who's like one of my other friends who's I think quite successful salesman and stuff, and he's always wearing these like fancy suits and stuff. And I remember, and he's quite fit. And I remember him used to being like a real chubby fat kid that just like seemed super dumb. Like, maybe I shouldn't judge people from years ago.
Here's the thing, Nelson. I was exactly the same in primary school. My personality was identical. I haven't changed a lick.
Yes. I sometimes refer to you as a child to other people. They say, what's it like living with Cambo? I said, it's like living with a child. That's how it goes.
He leaves the Nesquik out everywhere.
That's right. I wake up in the morning to Cheese TV because he's got it on full blast.
There's a reference just for Australians.
Anyway, so I don't know. And then another, I guess, like a high school crush, I don't know. She's probably doing something.
Probably an accountant.
Yeah. Probably so boring. But Sarah Michelle Gellar, that was my real crush. I have no idea what she's doing now. Like nothing, I don't think. TV or movie-wise.
Yeah, she was in a TV show with Kelsey Grammer or Ted Danson that got cancelled pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that got cancelled.
Which one was that? Was it Ted Danson or Kelsey Grammer? Because they don't look alike.
I think it was Kelsey. I don't know.
But yeah, you don't know. That's
Okay.
Someone write in. Who was it?
Sarah Michelle Gellar, write in.
Yeah.
She might listen. She doesn't. All right, let's get into Today I Learned.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that.
Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Left The. Today I learned studies have shown that feeling awed by something makes one feel healthier. It also makes people feel more generous, decreases aggressive attitudes, and makes them feel more satisfied with their lives.
It's a good thing we did that live stream then.
Yeah, we really helped out.
I think so.
People. Shock and awe is really what that live stream was about. The shock of finding out that toasters are bullshit.
Oh, they're not. Watch the live stream to find out.
Or they're not. Or they're accurate. But this got me thinking. When's the last time that you felt as though you were in awe?
In awe.
Because it's a real strong emotion, I reckon. To be in awe of something, I feel like that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
You know, every other emotion I can almost experience
Because
daily.
if it did, that person would be the healthiest person in the world.
We'd know about them.
Yeah. In awe, yeah, because it's such a strong word that I don't want to use too flippantly.
Yeah. Because I feel like my perception of awe, right, and what you have to see for it to qualify as awe is like something perhaps big, not necessarily all these things, but at least one of these things included, right? I think it has to like be big, sometimes I was gonna say natural, but not always. So like a natural occurrence.
Well, because you said the Hoover Dam really impressed you.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you say
was it awe-inspiring?
That's what I'm asking. Were you awed by it?
Oh.
You just said awe.
You're right. I guess that's the thing.
Yeah,
Is
if
it
you
when
look at something and you go,
no. I think, okay, because, actually, I don't know. Maybe that's close. Because I think also the awe-inspiring thing has to make you almost feel little. Right? Is that a weird thing?
Okay.
Like, I feel like it needs to give you see something and then it gives you perspective on your own life. Is that crazy? Is that a weird... I don't know if that's like...
I think you can be in awe of something and not have it completely change your life's perspective.
Oh, no, I'm not saying permanently, but just like in that moment. So it's like I might look out to Jupiter and be like, oh my God, that's awe-inspiring. I mean, I wouldn't because it's like tiny, you know, but I think it could perhaps give you that perspective of like, we are so small in the universe, right? Yeah. And I'm not going to then tomorrow be like, guys, we're so small, everything is insignificant. Just stop wearing pants.
Well, okay, tell me if this counts because I think that I was somewhat awestruck. Just recently when I was in Las Vegas, we went to a Cirque du Soleil show. That was all synced up to the music of the Beatles. Yeah. And there was one moment in it that in time with the music, there was people up in the rafters attached to people with a bungee cord. And then they were dropping the people and they were coming down just like a foot or so above us and then going back up to the ceiling, all in time with the music, all around this stadium.
Did you check your wallet instantly just in case?
Yeah, I was robbed.
Okay.
But not by them. I was distracted by them, and someone else robbed me.
Yeah. One of the other circus performers. They've done this all the time. Yeah.
But I remember I turned to my girlfriend. I said, "This is the best thing I've ever seen."
Okay, yeah.
Well, would that count as orange? Because I was kind of dumbstruck by how crazy, like, intricate it was. But this doesn't really fit with any of the prerequisites that you just explained.
That I said, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, who am I to say to you what awe-inspiring something...
good point. Let's move on.
What makes something awe-inspiring. But I mean, no, because it's me here, and I often try to tell people how they think and act and should be. Yeah, because like I don't know. To me, if I saw that, because then there's things like, well, something can be amazing.
Yeah.
But is it awe-inspiring? Because like to me, maybe if I saw that, I don't know, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But if I was to see that, I might be like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But is it awe-inspiring?
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe that's my dilemma. Maybe I've never been awed.
Maybe it's never. Do you know what I want to say? A period of time that I can't. Maybe this isn't a good example. Then I can't nail it down. I think to a particular time, but I feel as though when we did our trip from Perth to Melbourne, we drove across another ball plane. I feel like at some points I was probably in awe of like our surroundings because I did find it amazing at how like vast Australia is basically.
Yeah.
Like when you can see from one horizon to the other and there's just nothing or just like very small bushes, you know, like that to me was so amazing and something I'd never seen before and I still haven't seen it since. Like it's just such a strange experience. And so, you know, and but again, like, yeah, I don't know if that's like the definition of it because using my prerequisites before, it's like, oh, it's big, you know, because it's like this big expanse and then it maybe gives you a different perspective because you're like, oh yeah, there's so much land, like, and I've probably been to the horizon before, but I wouldn't know it because of all the buildings around me, if that makes sense. You get where I'm going with that.
Yep.
But, and so I don't know, I just think it's like really amazing, but I don't know.
I felt what you're describing a little bit also when I've been on a ship far enough out in the water that all you see for 360 degrees is just water.
Yeah, yeah.
And that there's been moments where you've just been like, there is a lot of water.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I think it's like pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But and one thing I think I'd like to see is the Northern Lights.
Yep.
Is that right?
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, Aurora Borealis. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I think that might be quite awe-inspiring.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. But I thought this was really interesting because of I feel like, you know, it's difficult for us to think of times when we've been in awe.
Yeah.
And if that
again, now I fear that I never have.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, see, I'm like, and I don't want to discount the circus thing. I think that definitely could be, but the thing is that, you know, that's like I'm not like, oh yeah, that's 100% something that I think would be awe-inspiring. Which again, like made me when I read this the first time, I was like, oh my god, am I missing out? Do I need to be more, you know, see things that make me in awe?
Joy in my life?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. I quickly spiraled into depression, Cambo.
But then we had to do that toaster test.
Toaster testing, and I was like, this is what it's all about.
Yeah. If you watch it, and you should, just know that Nelson is smiling through the pain.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, so maybe, Cambo, we should try to be more or like in awe. Try to look for those moments that will make us in awe.
You know what I reckon it's going to be?
Yeah.
Episode 126.
Oh, that's only next week.
I know. Awe-inspiring, though.
I thought...
I think people will listen to it
and
be in awe.
I thought you would go with something like 287.
No.
Because then people will forget by episode 287
Here's the thing.
that we said that in episode 125.
If you want accountability... You need to set a deadline.
Why do we want accountability? We never want accountability, Cambo.
I've changed.
Okay.
Ever since I saw that circus show.
You're like, I need to be more accountable. Okay.
You got Can't Buy Me Love playing in the background. I was like, oh my God, I've just drifted through life. Oh, I need to be more accountable. This is crazy.
That's funny. Okay. All right, Kevin, let's get to shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
Okay, this shower thought is by PB Captain Crunch. Running from the cops is the ultimate double or nothing. I mean, yeah. Depends what you're running from.
Yeah.
If you've murdered a ton of people and you try running away from the cops, I mean, they're not going to double your sentence.
They'll add something on.
Yeah, maybe.
But not double.
But it's like, if you probably already get a life sentence.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, all right, a life sentence, but you run away, so 2 life sentences.
Yeah. You'll be like, yeah. So, I mean, what I'm saying is, if you've killed a bunch of people, just go for it.
Yeah,
just
run.
For it.
They're not going to give you 2 life sentences.
Can't get much for it. Yeah. If you are Jeff and you're attached to Bill, Jeff, just run for it. You'll have to chloroform Bill though,
which will slow you down,
like permanently. Otherwise, we might rat you out to the cops.
I think that exists on a sliding scale, and for that reason, I dispute that it's the ultimate double or nothing.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. I think it's pretty good. Have you ever run from the cops?
No. Why would I run from the cops?
I kind of want to, just to see if I can get away with it one day.
What, you just see them on the street and then run?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that chase?
They chase? Yeah. I reckon they would chase too. I reckon they would totally chase. Do you reckon you could get money out of it? Like, you see them, you go, you put on a shocked face, and then you run away, and they tackle you to the ground, and they try to search you.
And then you say,
you're like,
police brutality.
Police brutality. What were you tackling me to the ground for? Also, I have a tip for people running away from the cops.
Yeah.
If you're... I'm assuming this is everywhere.
Okay.
Actually, no, maybe not. Maybe it's just in Australia. But there are laws that police have to stop chasing you if the chase is endangering other lives.
Oh.
So if you're in a car, this is my pro tip, is
go on the other side of the road.
Go on the other side of the road.
Yep.
If it's at night, turn your lights off as well. Make it as dangerous as possible for other people. And
yourself included.
Yeah. In fact, hold a match next to a spray can. That's also very dangerous.
And talk to strangers on the internet. That's dangerous.
Oh, that's so dangerous. Yep. And then, they have to stop chasing you.
Wow, that is a good tip.
I mean, the idea is obviously that they've theoretically got your license plate if you're in a car.
Right.
So, steal a car first.
Steal a car, drive dangersely, talk to strangers on the internet. These are the 3 things that will stop the police chasing you.
That's all you need. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
This is by Peanut Butterfish 23. 400 years ago, owning a nice sword was a status symbol. Today, owning a sword is a good indication that you still live in your parents' basement. There's no good reason to have a sword these days, right? Unless maybe it's been like inherited.
Yeah.
I think even buying like a brand new samurai sword, just not why. No, just stop.
Yeah, there's certainly like it's a weeaboo, right? Like someone that's obsessed with Japanese culture. I believe it's called being a weeaboo.
Right.
And there's certainly like that stigma of someone being a weeaboo that has like the armor and the sword on their wall.
Yeah,
that is just kind of. You're right. Why?
It can only be described as why.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Look, I would have more respect for somebody if I went to somebody's house, came over for dinner, and they're just chopping veggies with a samurai sword. I'd be like, that's totally fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's cool,
oh,
actually.
You're a weeaboo, is what you'd say.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is for display purposes, and then my interest in that display purpose would wane depending on what the sword is. If I came over to someone's house and there was a glass cabinet with a sword in it, and they were like, "That's the sword they used in the Lord of the Rings movie. That's Aragorn's sword."
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a good sword.
What if replica of?
No.
Yeah, okay. Has to be the sword. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I remember there was a shop, you probably would remember it, where we used to work at Ducks, and it was all about rip-offs, replicas.
Yeah.
And I thought, why would anybody want this stuff?
Nelson, I have many swords from that store, And let me tell you, I didn't buy any of them. So
Really?
Here's what happened.
Oh, no.
This is when we used to work at the cinema.
Yeah.
And to give you a rough date of when we worked there, it was when the first Hobbit movie was coming out. And they said, hey, can we put up a display?
Wait, what? Is that when you started working there?
No, I was just working there at the time.
Oh, okay, never mind. Continue.
They said, hey, can we put up a display because we have a bunch of replica swords from the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
And, maybe we'll drum a bit of business because, times are a bit tough. We're struggling.
Yeah. For some reason, people aren't buying our replica stuff.
And our replica xenomorph that's life size that we have. So we were like, yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. Set up whatever you want. And so it was set up for maybe a month. And in the meantime, they went out of business and moved away. And we had this display case with all the swords. And we tried to contact them to be like, hey, come pick up your swords.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get onto them. And The Hobbit was now out of theaters. So we just took it.
You just had swords in the foyer.
Yeah. So we just took it kind of to where the loading dock out the back. And then it sat there for another 2 or 3 months. So we just broke into the case and then handed out the swords to the staff. We were like, do you want the Bilbo's sword? There you go. You can have Gandalf's sword.
Were people like, no, I don't want Bilbo's sword?
No, people took it.
And you said, take the sword.
So I actually think for probably about a year, just in a cupboard in my house, I had Bilbo's sword.
Yeah, it's stupid. Why does anybody want that? It's just stupid.
You know what? I take it back. The only other thing I can think of that you might need to own a sword for is if you, as a pastime, do LARPing or something like that, and it is something that you use in that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
if you're using it for...
Yeah, if you're I do LARP and I go on quests all the time and this is my sword in my quests, I'd be like, you know what? You're using it at least. So fill your boots.
Same with the guy that's using the samurai sword to chop up his veggies.
That is also fine.
You using it. That's perfect. In fact, I bet that would never go blunt. Maybe I should get a samurai sword.
Because then also when you're not doing it, we can display it on the wall.
Yeah, people think we're so cool. Okay, here's another one for you. This is by Unreformed One. One of the biggest surprises most of us had in our childhood was seeing the moon during the daytime. I think I still get surprised by that. I'm like, oh my God, it's so sunny, but I can see the moon. My brain doesn't comprehend.
Yeah, I'm always... I feel like the moon is being cheeky. Like, oi, what are you doing out?
Hey, this isn't your time. Wait a few more hours, buddy. Oh, jeez. What do you like?
It was the biggest surprise of my childhood. I think this person had a very sheltered childhood. The biggest surprise of their childhood was seeing the moon in the day.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
He had some shitty birthdays, let me tell you. Okay. Here's another one.
Okay.
This is by Smith Max 4211.
Ooh.
You have existed since the beginning of the universe, but only realized it when you gained consciousness. Don't you think that's really interesting?
Okay, let me wrap my head around this.
Yeah.
So they're proposing that the particles that we are made up of have existed since the beginning of the universe.
Yes. Because based on physics and science and stuff that I could explain, but we're almost up to an hour, Kendo, so I better not.
I understand that fundamentally, right?
Yeah.
But this is the deep question.
Oh.
Is when do you become you? Because I would say that you become you and exist from when you do gain consciousness. So your physical makeup has existed, but you as an entity with a consciousness, I think, is you.
I think that I agree with that, but I think that he's saying your body has existed,
or she, Nelson,
or she is saying your body has existed since, and I think he's saying exactly what you said, just in a different way.
I said it better.
Yeah, well. You got philosophical about it. Yeah. Like, when's you? When is you?
Yeah.
But I think
should we just post a status from our page just saying when is you?
When is you? But what I thought this was actually really amazing, mind-blowing thing to me because I'd never really thought about that. Like our body really has actually existed in lots of different ways beforehand, which means that we could also really be parts of other people. You know, like those.
Like you could have some
particles of-
Napoleon.
I could have some Napoleon. I'm probably part Napoleon.
So
Now that you think about it. Now, but even like, you know, like, I don't know, well before that, like dinosaur,
right.
you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because
I mean, stars. Essentially, we're all stars, right?
we're all stars. Except for Hollywood stars. They're the real stars.
Yeah, that's true. And the heroes.
But like, I kind of had the same thought about water, how water is just like, you know, always existed, and we're like what 80% water or something.
Yeah,
it's meant to be. So our water has to have been in other parts of other animals and things throughout time. I don't know. I just think it's such a really interesting concept. It shows we're just insignificant because in a million years' time we're going to be part of something else.
So I would say, what's the Earth, like 7 billion years old? Is that the rough estimate?
Thereabouts.
Yeah, so let's say 7 billion. Someone smarter than us will be listening, saying no. You're wrong again.
You
but
bloody idiot.
I'm going to say, just for the argument of this, 7 billion.
Yeah, it's definitely over 100
million.
Years.
Okay, oh, right. Okay, yeah. So
I'm just hedging up.
Next time you're around someone and they're feeling insecure physically about themselves, say they're saying, "Oh, I've got crow's feet around my eyes," or you know, "I've got cellulite on my legs," or something like that.
Yeah.
Just say to them, I mean, technically, everything that makes you up is at least 7 billion years old. So relatively, you're looking good.
Yeah, you're looking good for a 70 billion year old. Yeah.
Do that laugh.
Like,
that's part of it.
Yeah, that's true. That obnoxious, like, I'm smarter than you. And, yeah, I get that you've still got problems, but I talked you out of it. All right, Cambo, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
Podnapping. It's where we nap a pod. And by that, I mean we steal a topic of conversation or a segment from another podcast. And this week is you, Cambo.
Yes. So I have decided to do a little bit of local flavor. You were saying that you'd like to give a big up to like independent podcasts or smaller podcasts. This is an Australian podcast.
Okay.
And it's called Book Cheat.
Oh.
It's a fairly new one.
Yes.
And the premise is such in that the host and a guest, the host will explain a piece of literature, normally like a classic literature that's on like a school syllabus or something like that.
Okay.
And by the end of the episode, it's as if you had read it. You know all the information about it, the basic story, what its themes are, and things like that. So say you had to have a test on it. Right. You theoretically could just listen to this half-hour podcast and kind of know a little bit about it.
That seems,
So at the beginning of the just before we hit record, I asked you what a book is that you may have read. Because, Nelson, I want you to give me a book report.
Oh, I see what you've done here.
Yes. You've put you on the spot.
I'm going to do no work whatsoever for this podnapping segment, and I'm going to put it on Nelson.
Yeah.
So
you had very nicely said that you would give me a book report on the book. It was
Tomorrow When the War Began.
No. I've chosen To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, no. I just couldn't do that one.
No, that's better.
No, I mean...
Because I do know the story of To Kill a Mockingbird, so I'm interested to hear.
There's a guy called Atticus Finch.
Yep.
And he's...
Slow down.
He's good or he's an asshole. I can't remember. There's like some prejudice and stuff.
Yep.
I think there's a woman in there at some point, maybe a girl.
There's a small girl.
Yeah, see, I knew it was a girl. And then it ends when he kills a mockingbird, and the town's like, "Hey, you can't kill that mockingbird." And then he says, "Yeah, watch me." And then, do you know what he does?
Yeah,
he kills
two
mockingbirds.
You've doubled down on this.
2 mockingbirds with 1 stone. Mm-hmm. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They were like, how did you do that? And then he said, just a really big stone. I dropped it.
And
I
that-
dropped it on their heads.
And many people don't know that's where the phrase to kill two birds with one stone
To
came
kill, it
from.
actually was to kill two mockingbirds with one stone.
With one really big
one
stone.
really big stone. Then people over time ended up changing it to two birds, one stone.
Yeah. That's mainly right.
Yeah.
You could have thrown in that it was written by Harper Lee, perhaps.
No, who cares? Who cares who it's written by?
Or this might come up on a test.
Yeah, but probably not.
Right. So, what would you say Okay, so that's the story. You've nailed...
What? No, I didn't say anything about that story.
You did. You just recounted the story of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, yep.
Right.
Good,
So,
accurate.
I guess that segment's done. But now, what would you say the theme of To Kill a Mockingbird is? Because there are students pen to paper right now, ready to write down...
The theme. Didn't I touch on that? It was about it's about prejudice and
What does it suggest about prejudice, Nelson?
Don't be prejudiced.
Right. Okay.
Is that not obvious?
It's
I don't
not-
think there's a book out there that's like, hey, be prejudiced.
I don't know. I haven't read The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. But if there was a book that was going to
Yeah.
be pro-prejudice.
Yeah. Or somebody from the KKK or something. I'm guessing they probably wrote a book
Yeah.
and was like, this is exactly why you should be prejudiced.
So it is an anti-prejudice book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So if there is a student out there right now and they have a
Yes.
test tomorrow on To Kill a Mockingbird
Yeah.
and maybe even its cultural impact on society,
Yeah.
I just want a couple of pointers that you could give the student
Yeah.
to help them pass their test.
Yep. This is all you need to do. Because this is we're saying essay format, because you don't normally do a quiz necessarily
Yeah.
on a book. Normally it's like an essay, write something
Sure.
about it. I think all you need to do for these essays is you start off with something, a bit sort of general that's To Kill a Mockingbird was
By Harper Lee.
By Harper Lee.
It just makes you sound a little bit more intelligent.
Yeah. I definitely read it.
Yeah.
I read
Cover
it.
to cover.
because-
on the cover, it said Harper Lee.
on the cover, and then on the other cover there was a blurb, and this is what I got. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee was revolutionary for its time to expose the negative effects that society can have when judging another race and being prejudiced towards another race. And then you don't mention the book ever again. And you just go on about
Spin your wheels.
prejudice.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need, because they know that that's
Yeah.
roughly the book.
And then I would say just every now and then, just write as represented by the character Boo Radley.
Yeah.
Because that's a character people know,
Yeah.
and no one's read the book.
Yeah.
So that's the other hint.
Yeah.
No one's read it.
No one's read it.
So they'll be like, I know that character.
People started to watch the movie and they were like, oh, black and white. No, thank you.
Even back in the day when movies were black and white,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, black and white.
But there's color all around me. But I think I remember one time I was in literature, I think, and we did an essay, and I was just like the worst. I just didn't give a crap. I would talk in class and distract people. And there was this girl I was friends with, and she was like very studious, much smarter than me, right?
Sure.
And we ended up doing an essay, and I was just very good. It was like my one skill of just kind of bluffing my way through these things. I think it was just, I was the right parts creative and logical or something like that, or, and so I got like an A or A plus, like a pretty high mark. And then she got hers back and it was like a C plus or a B, something like that. And, I got mine back, like, just didn't even care. And she's like, oh, I only got a B. And then she saw mine. And she was like, gee, what, you gotta, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh, I just sort of learned how to bullcrap. I was like, I don't know how to make you feel better. I was like, I don't know.
I didn't even try. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
that's the thing. I was like, I don't know whether to say, because it's very obvious that I'm not the kind of person that tried. So I was kind of like, I'll at least try to explain that this is just because I'm good at bullshitting rather than anything else. Like, you've picked up the better skills in life.
And I think another little, let's say, hack is just certain key phrases to use in an essay that will really drive your point home. So after you've had that vague, beginning, and then you spun your wheels about prejudice for a while, and you name drop Boo Radley.
Yeah.
At the end, you just say, and if Harper Lee were alive, I think she'd agree with me.
Oh,
because you're just making wild assumptions that the author agrees with your points exactly.
Yeah. And I think maybe you also, a good thing often in essays is to relate it to real world stuff.
Yeah.
So if you could relate it to like anything Trump has potentially done with prejudice, or like, I feel like you could even go to the Holocaust or something. Sure. Just throw that in there as like hey, this is also bad.
Yep. There was prejudice involved.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy all the prejudice.
Yep.
Racist, if you ask me.
Yeah. And that's how you do it.
Yep. Anyway, that was the podcast book cheat.
Yeah.
If you liked that, you
was
should check out
worst I'm going to put it out there. That was the worst podnapping segment we've done.
Nelson, I would disagree and say it's the best. It's the best one.
Yeah. All right. Good.
But check out the real one because it's better.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I should explain perhaps. I actually have something planned for my podnapping that is actually quite in depth. I've had to do some editing and whatnot for it. However, it's sitting on my work computer. I've got to send it to myself. So this was my fill-in one.
Okay.
Book sheet.
So you're going to make it up or the week after.
The week after. But let me tell you, Nelson.
That's going to have to be doubly good. Because this was like half the effort. So the other one has to be doubly good, and then it'll cancel each other out.
I don't want to put your hopes up too much, but I think it's pretty good. Okay. However, you still will be put on the spot.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I love that.
There isn't a podnapping.
I'm pretty sure I nailed the To Kill a Mockingbird summary.
Yeah.
I'm impressed I remembered Atticus Finch. Come on. You got to give me points for that.
I remember there's no points in this game.
I remember yeah, but just make it down. Just make it out of 1 point.
You get 4 points.
Oh, out of 1. Yes, nailed it.
Yeah. It did inspire the early 2000s streetwear brand that I think was owned by Blink-182 called Atticus, in which the symbol of was a dead mockingbird.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go.
Interesting. Was there 2 and a stone next to it?
Yeah. Because we read the real version.
We read the private Harper Lee version.
Ours had a prologue with all the stone stuff.
All right. Well, that was Podnapping.
Yep,
and
that's fun.
We can now go into Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
Yes. So I have an email here from Clara. It says, gentlemen, here's a weird spiritually one for you. When you think of oh my God, this is really similar to what I was talking about before. When you think of yourself, do you imagine that you are your body or that you are in your body?
But when is you?
This is the question, Clara. We don't have time for your question because we don't know.
Trying to answer
when is you.
Because also, if you think about when is you, like you essentially have consciousness while you're still in the womb, but I don't remember that. So is it when I remember my consciousness, if that makes sense?
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a debate that pro-life and pro-choice people have been having.
Yeah.
When is you?
When is you?
It's the ultimate question.
Anyway, let's get back to Clara's question.
Do you picture yourself as your body, or do you picture yourself in your body? I picture myself as my body.
Oh yeah.
Which
I think I'm in my body.
Yeah, but I totally see your point.
Yeah,
because if science fiction were to be believed, like the TV show Altered Carbon, which suggests that people get inserted into new bodies, they would still be them.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
In that case, you are just in your body.
Yeah, I think. I think that's it. I guess it's just because. I think it's when I have that inner monologue or like my conscience.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm like debating whether to do something or whatever, and it's because I'm like having that conversation internally.
Yeah.
I feel like
Should have it
that's
externally.
why I'm.
So everyone knows what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, should I kill that guy? Oh, he did annoy me. But murder is wrong.
Murder is
and
bad.
like I'm talking like walking through a supermarket.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's right, because if anybody talks out loud, instantly I think they're insane. There's a guy in our building that in the gym every morning, he just talks to himself, but not like sentences.
Right.
Just like occasionally have a word or two. And I think it's something like he doesn't do it until he's been on the treadmill for a while or something.
What kind of words?
I feel like it's sort of nothing really audible, but it's not grunts either, right? It's not like, oh, I'm so tired kind of thing. Like there's definitely words, but I've normally got headphones in as well.
Antisocial.
And so, everybody has headphones in with it. Maybe he's just listening to something that he agrees with.
Yeah, maybe they're like, "Can I get an amen?" He's like, "Amen." Maybe he listens to a lot of call and response style music.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
he's responding.
Yeah, maybe that's it. And I think he's insane. That's what I'm saying. What I was getting to. I was like, I feel like you can't. He doesn't have the capacity to work out hard and also keep his thoughts inside his head.
It's weird that the only time you do talk to yourself is when you swear. Like you'll be completely alone and something will drop. You're like, oh shit. But you just don't internally think
like
that.
Out loud.
You out loud talk to yourself only for curse words.
Yeah. I've occasionally found myself talking out loud.
Really?
Like not occasionally, rarely actually. Like
you said occasionally at first, so
I do it all the time. No, but it'll be if there's something just like really on my mind, like I don't know, something that I just can't shake, and I've been thinking about a lot, and I don't know, like, and it's just like my thought process runs out onto my mouth, and I might say like a word or two, and I'm like, what? That was weird that I did that. So yeah, but only when I'm like really in depth thinking about something, and I'm by myself.
Yeah.
There
is another circumstance in which I talk to myself, but it's not really talking to myself. It's more insane. I talk to like an object. If I'm looking for something, say I'm looking for scissors, I'll start going, where are you? And I'll start talking to the scissors.
Yeah.
Why? Why do I do that? I do it.
Do you reckon it's one time they responded in your life?
We're in here. Third row down.
Yeah. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. But do you ever do that? Do you ever ask things where they are out loud?
No, that's fucking insane.
Oh, no. I said something on here that I can't take back.
Oh, God. Every week it happens to me, so don't worry about it. Okay. But otherwise, yeah, okay. So you think you're you, I sort of think I'm me. Not in a weird way. I don't feel like I'm disassociated with my body.
Yeah.
But I just think I'm more into
You're wearing like a Nelson skin.
I'm wearing like a... No, that also seems weird, I think.
That seems
yes,
pretty normal.
but... Yeah.
And this coming from a guy that talks to objects. So.
Okay, well, yeah. I guess that's fine now. All right. Thank you, Clara. I hope we sort of answered that.
I think we definitively answered that.
Okay, yeah, that's true. All right. I've got one here from Hazim.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of a podnapping thing... But hey, I'm just going to read it all. Anyway,
All right.
he actually sent us 2 emails.
Jeez.
Remember? 2 bloody emails. His first one was the interesting words. Last week I had Wister Poop and Akaju, and you had Woo.
Mm-hmm.
And he has got... I'll let you pronounce it just because it's probably easier if you say it.
Hipoptomonstroskidipophobia.
That was terrible. Okay,
It's
let
not
me
bad.
tell
I had
you.
to do it in segments.
Yeah. This is how you say it.
Yep.
Hippopotamonstrosquidipediliophobia. I
Who
feel like
knows who
I
was right?
started strong.
You did start with when you started, I was like, oh shit, has he learned how to pronounce
Yeah,
this?
I should have done
And
that.
then 4 syllables in, I was like, no. He went in with too much confidence.
yeah. That was my downfall, if anything. I know anti-disestablishmentarianism, so
I mean, we all know anti-disestablishmentarianism. I almost fucked that up.
Anyway, and he said it means a fear of long words, which is just so ridiculous.
The irony.
Is that's got to be close to? I'm pretty sure anti-disestablishmentarianism is the longest word. This has got to be pretty close. Although I think there's arguments as to what is classified as longest word. Anyway, this is not part of the conversation. All right.
Because I'm looking at his email now. It's quite long.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't dilly-dally.
I'm going to rush through this one. Okay. He said, gentlemen, blood transfusions, correct. Meaning they happen first in war.
Yeah.
Federation Square, I learned about from you guys. I'm planning a trip to Australia sometime in the next 2 years, so now I know that I apparently should skip it.
Yep.
Again, like I said in the live stream, it's never been a tourist attraction. It's not like a thing people go to. You've like hyped it up, Kevin, by even mentioning that it exists. It's just a building.
Look, I'll say
a building.
I'll say this. My disdain for Federation Square remains, though Acme is quite good, which is inside Federation Square.
Right.
The Australian Centre for the Moving Image.
It's just a building. It's all just a building.
It's pretty ugly. I'd skip it, is it?
Skip it. I mean, why would you go there anyway? Like,
Acme.
there's no to see a like random. Okay, anyway. Podnapping. One podcast I listen to is the GACC, or JACC, I guess, Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Yeah, I listen to that one too. Podcast in which the main editor reads highlights of other people's work and discusses it. Do you guys know of any other podcasts that do something similar to that?
I've really dropped off my cardiology podcasts.
Yeah.
I used to listen to one called Heart to Heart, where they just had an in-depth discussion, heart to heart, about cardiology.
Oh, that would be good.
It's not a bad title.
Yeah, I think we should write that one down.
For something that's real.
But anyway, no, I think, look, if people read highlights of other people's work, it's despicable.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, if someone were to take...
Nobody should do that.
If someone were to take something that someone else had worked hard on and refined and then do it sloppily...
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Over a podcast. Bloody terrible. Okay, in a serious suggestion, I listened to a show called Mobituaries with Mo Rocker, who does homages. Homages? Silent H?
Homages.
Homages. Homages to famous and influential people. The episode I listened to, he talks about Audrey Hepburn, who he met when working at a perfume counter at Macy's. Have you guys met anyone famous who isn't alive anymore, and can you do an obituary for them? He has a little bit extra, but I guess we'll do this first.
Okay. I've met famous people, but they're all still alive.
Oh.
I don't think I've met anyone.
Do an obituary for them, one of them anyway.
Who are the most famous? Matt Damon.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Some of the Bourne films are all right. Not all of them, obviously. They can't all be good.
But percentage-wise, pretty
I
good.
didn't see Downsizing, though I heard bad things.
Okay.
But he was pretty nice when I met him.
Okay.
Hope you rest in peace.
When obviously that time comes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, obviously.
I mean, you've sort of... I think it was like a 50%... These good things he's done, 50%. He didn't do some good things. I mean, in obituaries, I don't know. Just if you ever one day write mine, could you please make it at least 80-20 positive?
Oh, okay. Well, it's good that you specified that because I'm going to have to skew a lot of data.
Yeah, that's right. I think the only famous person what are we classifying as meeting, by the way?
I think interacted with in some way. I think because I said the other day that he did a shout out for my band.
Yeah,
he said that a few podcasts ago. So I would classify that as meeting.
Then
like there needs to be at least like, oh hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Okay,
you know?
Then just nobody. No. I don't think I've met anybody famous. If that's the standard, I'm pretty sure.
What were you going to say?
The closest, I think. Okay. What I was going to say is...
You can't say Hugh Jackman if that's what you're going to say, that you almost auditioned with Hugh Jackman.
No. Muhammad Ali.
Oh, okay.
I saw. He was at some weird... It was when I was much younger, and he was...
alive.
He was alive.
Yeah.
And he was boxing. No, he wasn't. He was at some, like... weird work event. There's this company called Visi, which is like about it's like a recycling plant or something. Deals with like boxes and things like that.
Yep.
And it's actually a huge company.
Yep.
And my dad was working with them. They invited him to this day, and it was like at this, like, I don't know, huge park or something somewhere. And for some reason, Muhammad Ali was there. Like, there is no real connection. Yeah. It just seemed like somebody was like, I've got a ton of money. Who do we want to get? And they just got out of like a list, and they were like, we can
Muhammad Ali is free.
Muhammad Ali. And he was like, he was well into his Parkinson's. He was still Parkinson's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You gave me a look like, no, that's
no, just the phrase "well into his Parkinson's." I was skew if about.
I mean,
because it sounds like he was really into it.
He
like
was
he liked
really
it.
into it. He wrote a blog about it.
Yeah, he was suffering a lot from his Parkinson's.
Yeah. He was shaking a lot.
Yeah,
and
it's not better.
What? It just means that's what happens with Parkinson's. You shake a lot. Anyway, I don't know. He gave a talk or something, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't hear him most of the time. and I was like, "Who's this guy?"
Right.
And my dad was like,
"But
boxer."
You didn't necessarily interact one-on-one.
No.
Right.
Not really. So I don't know if that counts.
Well, Nelson, give him an obituary.
Okay, Muhammad Ali.
Yep.
What can I say about the man who meant so much to me? He floated like a butterfly.
Yeah.
He stung like a bee.
This one rhymes. I like it.
But
keep this going.
He hugged like a tree.
Ooh. So you got a hug?
I saw him. I saw him hug other people.
Right.
And it looked like, I mean, trees don't really hug back, do they?
No.
He hugged like a cocktail shaker. Was that bad? Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
But he was a very generous person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. And he was actually, he was kind of an asshole sometimes, you know? Like, he used to... No, I mean, like, in his boxing day. I don't mean, personally, when I...
Right, yeah.
I just mean, like,
I thought you meant
days.
when he was at his Visi tour.
Yeah.
He was kind of like, look at this prick in the front row.
Yeah. No, I mean...
in
his career.
That is...
part of the boxer...
Yeah, that's the showmanship, right?
Which I think I've seen, like, in maybe a documentary about him or something, that, like, Joe... Who did he fight? Joe... What was the biggest... one of the bigger fights?
Joe Blow.
Joe... Was it Joe?
I don't know. It was the Rumble in the Jungle, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's going to annoy me. I'm pretty sure it's Joe somebody.
Is this still the obituary?
Yes. Stop interrupting.
Sorry.
Somebody is recording this.
So your obituary has a bit where you're like, and then he fought. Wasn't it Joe something? Who was it? Was it Joe? I think it was Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Is this all written down?
And yeah. It's in the paper. Anyway, and they were saying in this documentary that it's like, you know, there was a lot of respect when Muhammad Ali died, or when the other guy died. I don't know who died first, because it was like, you know, even though they were kind of enemies and they would always lash out at each other, you know, verbally and stuff, that it was, it was part of the sportsmanship, and it was kind of like they still had a lot of respect for each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're frenemies.
So he was a very respectful man.
Mm-hmm. You're back into it.
And I'm telling you, this is still part of it. And how
many obituaries have sidebars?
He was... But why shouldn't they?
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
It's true.
And he looked pretty fit at one point in his life. Rest in peace. Anyway...
It's good.
That's all I really got.
Yep.
It was probably just as good as that other podcast you just talked about.
Without listening to it, I would assume.
Yeah. Actually, I did listen to a bit of it, Obituaries, and it is very well produced.
Oh, no.
Really well produced. But pretty similar otherwise.
Yeah.
Pretty similar content. Okay.
If Hazim is listening to well-produced podcasts,
yeah,
what is he listening to this for?
This
This is the other end of the spectrum.
I think this is a little bit of self-abuse. And Hazim, you should try to find somebody and seek help. He also said, Hazim said, regarding the first heart transplant,
Yes.
just an addendum to Amanda's message.
Ooh.
It was actually thought to be crazy and impossible at the time, which is one reason why Dr. Barnard did it in South Africa. Looser restrictions on an experimental medical procedure at the time. While the patient only lived 18 days, that was still considered a medical breakthrough, as 18 days was approximately 17 days and 24 hours longer than the patient was expected to survive that procedure. It was a proof of concept type of procedure that opened the door to further attempts. Source: I'm a cardiologist, hence my reading of Jack and knowing about this offhand. Jack as in J-A-C-C, the podcast. Wait, you read the podcast? Oh, no, it's a journal. Okay, never mind.
You didn't even research the email that you were reading.
I forgot. Anyway, thank you for writing in,
Yeah, thank you.
Tim, and thank you for writing Clara. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
You can also reach us at Facebook,
Yep.
at Twitter,
Yep.
and our subreddit.
I'll have to check that one.
They're all READIT podcast.
I've checked it. It's confirmed.
Okay. And if you go to our Facebook page, you will see the live stream of us, of Timmy's toaster test.
We will not tell you the result, but it's a nail biter.
Oh, boy.
It's been described as available. So
Yeah, and that's the highest
Yeah.
sort of thing you can get, right?
anyway, leave us a review or rate us on the Apple Podcast or whatever podcast platform you might listen and or stream this from. That would really help us out some way, presumably, we've been told.
Yep.
Yep.
So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.